The project management field has become more and more popular. I'm seeing more and more people talk about the project management career, and I've seen it on social media and even YouTube, which to me is really great because 6 years ago, I didn't even know what project management was. And so now I'm in a position to where I can help people break into this career field. Now, I will say this. If you are thinking about transitioning into a career in project management, then you need to know what you're getting yourself into. I truly believe that it's important to have a good, realistic picture of what this career involves so that you know what you're getting yourself into. It seems like these days careers are often glamorized on social media and no one really talks about the downside of these careers. Because let's be honest, every career has its pros and its cons. And so as a certified project manager, I'm going to share my honest opinion on what I believe are the pros and the cons of project management based on my personal experience. And then that way you can decide if a career in project management is right for you. All right, so I really like to just start on a positive note. So let's just start with the advantages of having a career in project management. Okay, so one of the great things about project management is that project managers, or at least certified project managers, are in high demand. And this is across various industries across the world, which means that there are a wide range of job opportunities available. The demand for project managers has remained strong for years, and it's expected to continue for the foreseeable future. So the Project Management Institute publishes an annual job trends report, and the most recent report shows that project management professionals will continue to have strong career opportunities. And so PMI's Talent Gap report states that 2.3 million people will be needed each year to fill all of the project management oriented positions that are expected to open by 2030. And this is really because project management is a critical job role that is utilized across various industries. And so I really try to get people to understand organizations rely heavily on project management professionals to plan, execute, and oversee projects successfully. And so this report really does a good job of breaking down the factors that contribute to the ongoing demand for project managers. And so one of those factors being just the complexity of projects. So many industries are experiencing an increase in the complexity of their projects. And so as these projects become more complex, companies need project management professionals who can effectively manage and coordinate the various aspects of these projects. And then another factor is globalization. Globalization has led to more diverse project teams that are spread out across various regions and even continents. So it's becoming more and more common for project managers to have to coordinate project activities and efforts across various regions and time zones. And then another factor leading to the ongoing demand is the rapid pace of technological advancements. Every time new technology is created, this requires the implementation of new projects. So if you are a project manager and you have a background in technology-driven initiatives, then you will notice the demand for your expertise. And then also industries such as IT, healthcare, construction, finance, and manufacturing all prefer project managers who have knowledge and a background in that specific industry. Now notice I didn't say that they require you to have a background, because there are instances where someone has a background in a different industry, but they were able to pivot into another industry. So it's really all just based on your experience and skill set. As you gain more experience, and especially if you have your PMP certification, then you will be presented with more job opportunities. And then project management methodologies like Agile have become very popular. And now I was going to mention Scrum too, but as I think of it, recently I haven't noticed a lot of Scrum Master positions available. So let me know in the comments if you've seen a lot of Scrum Master positions. But project managers who are familiar with these principles are being sought after by companies. And then last but not least, the value of the project management certification, such as the CAPM certification and the PMP, are widely recognized. So many employers are looking for candidates who have this certification. And then I also want to make sure that I mention that the demand for project managers will vary, and that's going to be based on where you live, the industry you work in, the current job market. But the moral of this story is, as long as there are projects that need to be managed, project managers will remain in demand, which provides great job security. Now, another benefit is the competitive salaries. Project managers typically earn competitive salaries, which shows the importance of the work that we do and that we are relied on to deliver projects successfully. So the Bureau of Labor Statistics reported in 2022 that the average salary of a project manager in the US was $95,370. Now it's 2024 now as I'm making this video, so I would probably say or guess that it's more around $100,000. I know I may have project managers who probably watch this thinking that they don't make this much. So just remember that this is an average across the country, and your salary will vary based on factors such as where you live, the industry you work in, and the numbers of years of experience that you have. So for instance, here in Atlanta, the average salary for project managers is actually $102,000, and that doesn't include the annual bonuses. And I have to say the best for last, having the ability to work from home. Now I know that there's some people in the comments who may say that they don't want to work from home, they don't like it, they thrive in the traditional office setting because they need to interact with other people. And that's okay, I completely understand. But for me, listen, I am an introvert and I thrive being in my own space and not having to deal with negative energy or just the struggle that comes with constantly being around other people. I'm at the point now where I've worked from home for 2 years, and so the amount of money that I've saved alone on gas makes me just want to shout. So if you live in Atlanta and you commute, then you know exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to just commuting and driving to work every day. So I'm thankful to be in a career field that allows me the opportunity to work from home. And then also, I don't have to actually be physically at home. As long as I'm somewhere in the United States, because I do work with the government, then as long as I have my laptop and a stable internet connection, then I can work. So that means that I've been able to take trips to LA, Vegas, Florida, and still be able to work and join meetings and do what I need to do, but also still spend time with my family who's spread out across the country. And so it's just great because that just means I'm not restricted to the confines of being at home. So yes, I do love the flexibility. Okay, so now let's talk about the cons of being a project manager. Here's the tea. The first con that I would say that comes with this career field is the stress. So project management can be a stressful job, and I've had people ask me that in my comments before. So as a project manager, you are the one who is essentially responsible for delivering the project successfully. So that means that you have to be able to manage the pressure that comes with meeting tight deadlines, managing resources, and just handling the unexpected issues that will pop up. And so the majority of the time, those issues that come up are completely out of your control. And then even managing scope changes and preventing scope creep can just be a challenge in itself, which usually leads to the project being delayed and then extra work that comes up. So being accountable for the success of the project or the failure can really just be a heavy burden. So just know that the blame often falls on the project manager when things go wrong. And then another layer that adds even more stress is the number of projects that you may have to manage at once. When I was a project manager more in the healthcare space, I think the highest number of projects that I managed was just around 15 projects at once. And that was nearly impossible for me because between the project meetings and then completing the daily tasks that were unrelated to the projects, that were more operational tasks, it was just very difficult to find sufficient time for each project. Unfortunately, I didn't have the dedicated resources, so members of my team, my project team, were usually clinical staff, which meant that they had very limited bandwidth to also do work for the project. So in that environment, everyone was stretched thin, and as the full-time administrative resource, I was the one doing the majority of the work. So that in itself was very stressful. And then another downside with this career field is that you will have the potential of having long hours. It's not uncommon for project managers to work long hours, especially when projects are nearing completion or they're facing challenges. So for me right now, I average a 40-hour work week, which is good. So it's rare that I work more than that. Now that we're getting close to go lives and the number of project meetings have increased, the workload has increased, and so we just have to do what we need to do to make sure that we hit our deadlines. So the number of hours you work heavily depends on your industry, the company you work for, and so forth. There were times in previous project manager roles when I would have to drive to the office, work 8 hours, then drive home just to get more work done so that I was ready for whatever deadlines or meetings that I had to prepare for the next day. I've seen project manager roles that require weekends and then also even traveling to the client. That's also not uncommon. So if the number of hours that you work is a concern, then you definitely want to ask this during your interview process. I created an entire video on how to answer project management questions, and then I have an interview kit that includes questions that you can ask during your interview. And then last but not least are the challenges that come with managing people. As a project manager, you will have to manage diverse teams and personalities, which can be very demanding at times, and sometimes it can lead to conflicts, or at least managing conflicts. So when you're dealing with these types of things, at times it can be draining. But there are different ways that stakeholders or people in general can be difficult. If they're unnecessarily aggressive, or they're just being nitpicky, or they're anxious, they're panicking, or just being indecisive or unclear about their needs. I've learned that preparation and documentation is important when it comes to managing teams and stakeholders. I like to make sure that they know what's happening at the level that their role requires, and make sure that there's clear evidence that I've been doing what's required. I really mastered the ability to stay calm and maintain my professionalism, and in the event of aggression or some type of personally targeted behavior, I just make sure that my manager is also aware of what's going on, but I just stay focused on my job and what I need to do. So if you don't know how to, or you don't want to manage these types of challenges, then project management may not be for you. Alright, so based on what I've mentioned as my pros and cons of project management, do you think that a career in project management is right for you? I will admit, this career does come with great advantages, such as the high demand and the good salaries and opportunities for growth. But like I mentioned before, this career field also has its challenges. So before you transition into project management, consider your skills, your personality, and your career goals when making this decision. And if you currently work in project management, let me know what some of your pros and cons are when it comes to being a project manager, or even if you're a project coordinator. Whatever you may be in this field, let me know what your pros and cons are. Alright guys, thank you for watching this video, and if you found any of it helpful, like always, please make sure that you like this video and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in the next one.